Thanks for being here. I wanted to talk to you today about offering SNAP and incentive programs at your farmers markets, or I suppose potentially farm stands. At Black Hills Farmers Market, we are excited to be able to offer 6 different incentive programs at our farmers market. So I will, be touching on SNAP and EBT as one of them, but I really wanted to just share a variety of ideas to make it really accessible, and so I'm going to start. This is almost in reverse order of how we've added them at our market, but I'm starting with maybe the simplest to implement and then grow in there to more complex options. So at our market this year, we had a one-day event where we were able to offer protein bucks. We had a late summer program of produce prescription vouchers available. During the month of July, we have Kids Month at our farmers market, and the whole month of July, we have $2 tokens for kids to be able to go do their own shopping for fresh produce at our market. It's very fun in collaboration with other activities. We have tokens for the sponsors of our farmers market to encourage them to come shop. We have for, I think about 14 years now, accepted SNAP at our farmers market. And for the last 4 or 5 years, we have offered double up food bucks to double that purchasing power at our market. The benefits. Why do we go to all this trouble at our market? There are a lot of benefits to having incentive programs at your market. It's great for the community. It increases the number of people shopping at our market, but access to the farmers market. Our farmers market will never have the same prices as some of the inexpensive retailers in our community. That's not profitable for our producers, but with these incentive programs, we can increase the affordability of shopping at our farmers market for a lot of people. We've seen a large increase in marketing opportunities for our farmers market. Organizations whose clients benefit from these incentive programs now are championing us to them. There's Youth and Family Services every year shares flyers about our Kids Month activities. The local food security organizations are sharing the Double Up program with their clients. And so it really helps create a lot of collaborative partnerships and spreads the word about our farmers markets to people who might not hear that through Facebook or some of our other traditional forums. Through all of that effort, it brings in a lot of new customers to our market. And so it really creates opportunities and places for people to be reminded to come shop at our farmers market. And all of that culminates in more sales for our producers and a thriving market. This is a quote from one of our SNAP and Double Up customers this summer. She said, "I love this program. It's a lifesaver and better quality food than the stores." And I hear that or something similar every Saturday. These programs are really meaningful, and people appreciate being able to come and shop for good quality food at our markets. It's just, that alone is a huge value for them. This is a snapshot of this summer's impact of our incentive programs at our market. We did approximately $15,000 in sales just in our incentive programs. Every year we have about 10,000 in sales from SNAP and Double Up. I would say that's our largest programs and our most impactful. Starting at the market 5 years ago, our SNAP sales were just a few $100s a year. So having that capacity to allow for families on a budget to be able to shop at our market has been huge. So the first program I wanted to talk to you about is our protein bucks. This was one that was new to our market this summer, and it was entirely vendor created and vendor driven. We had a group of our meat producers that got together and decided that our Double Up program is produce only. It's a trademarked program that is designed that way, and they wanted to be able to offer similar benefits for the meats at our farmers market. So they took it upon themselves. They went out and they designed an event day. We had a scavenger hunt. The library that's at our market every Saturday had children's books on related to the theme. And they created a scavenger hunt that took kids and adults to each of the meat producers at our market. They brought in specialists for the meat industry from SDSU Extension, had a booth. They found a volunteer chef to serve samples of meats at our market that were seasoned from one of our producers that has seasoning packets. And then they created this simple paper voucher where customers at our market could spend $5 for the voucher, and then in return they could spend that with any of our meat producers for $10 worth of meat. And they solicited sponsorships from local, the beef industry, the pork industry, local people that would be motivated for that. And so it was very simple. It was hugely popular. We had 100% redemption of these vouchers. And we based the number of vouchers we had on that day, based on, how much we got in sponsorships. And so it really highlighted for people during the peak summer months, yes, we're, overflowing with all this fresh, sweet corn and melons and tomatoes and things, but we also have, meats at our market which are a great feature for people. This is a program that you could, adapt in any number of ways. You could have a honey day. You could have, baked goods. And it was very simple. Like I said, the vendors created this. The only real piece that I did as the market manager was trying to get the word out on Facebook and those kinds of things. And then the reimbursement piece. At our market, all of our vendors to manage these incentive programs just have an envelope to throw their tokens in, and in this case they put their protein vouchers in here and turn them in, at the end of the market day or end of the month, as it see fit, and then the next week I come back with a reimbursement check. So it's very simple, and like I said, since we have these other incentive programs, it really was no additional effort because we had these things in place. But it's just that simple as one option for a starting place. Like I said, we have 6 programs at our market. I would encourage you to add, maybe 1 a year or something like that. Don't try to, invent everything at once, but there's some good ideas to pick from and grow from. This is another example of, a paper voucher system. Our produce prescription program, we have business cards, just front and back. And so for this program, we have community members, community partners that are interested in, diet-related illness. Of course, diet is a huge contributor to our health and well-being and food security. So this year we partnered with Monument Health, Community Health, and Love Inc. Each had dietitians or people in their organization that could distribute these vouchers. For our market, this was funded by Live Well Black Hills. This is the second year of the program for our market. The first year, it was truly a produce voucher. This year, we changed it to be a grocery voucher, and the purpose of that was to increase redemption. We decided that the nature of a farmer's market is a lot of fresh produce, and we need to get people there, and then and so if it's open to all groceries, we found that more people will attend our market, and then hopefully, naturally buy more fresh produce. When we do paper vouchers, we do number the cards, to reduce any likelihood of, counterfeits. And then we do a 1-month expiration date, and that way it allows us to know how many vouchers are out in the community still to be redeemed so that we don't overextend above our grant. Another aspect that we have used to increase redemption rates with these produce prescription vouchers is pairing it with education in some form. So when Love Inc. distributes our vouchers, it's associated with their nutrition classes. And community health, it's connected with a social worker or a dietitian to help with that education piece of, what do you do with an eggplant? That's something I'm still learning. We have a lot of community interest for this program, more community interest than what we have funding so far. And so we're looking forward to, kind of growing this program over time. This program, I would say, is one that brings in more people who have never been to a farmer's market before, and so that's kind of exciting to me. You can tell that it's kind of a brand new experience, and this was the thing that got them, kind of over that hump of trying something for the first time. Kids tokens. Every year in the month of July at our farmers market, we have Kids Month, and we plan to have, this year we had Charm Farm come with their little baby goats in a pen for the kids to pet. That was a huge hit. The Just Gymnastics comes one day and has tumbling. Our master gardeners have crafts every Saturday for the kids, and the library is there. And so we really try to gear it, especially during the month of July, to really be kind of family focused. And we have secured sponsorship for most every child that come to the farmer's market to get a $2 token, and that allows them to go and shop for their favorite fruit or vegetable at the market. And you see all these kids coming, and you know, they're gnawing on their cucumbers or getting their cherry tomatoes. It's really a fun thing. And this program also, it brings a lot of families to our market during the summertime. They look forward to it. It builds repeat customers because they're coming, you know, wanting, their kids are clamoring to come back the next Saturday and go shopping again with their wooden token. So it's a lot of fun and very easy to put together. I would add one more thought, going back to that produce prescription program where we have a lot of people coming to the market who've never been to a farmer's market before, and you can kind of see the trepidation there. It's a barrier. With this kids program, you know, it's fostering that lifelong commitment or lifelong connection to local foods, those happy memories, and developing your tastes starting at a young age to you know, create that lifelong change and connection to the farmers markets. About halfway down the screen, these kids tokens pair really well with our SNAP and Double Up program. About 12% of South Dakotan households are eligible for SNAP benefits, and about half of those people that are eligible are children. And so it's really a fun thing when, you know, a family will come up to my booth and I'll process their SNAP benefits and give them their Double Up, but then their kids also get those tokens. And then the other thing about having multiple incentive programs at our market, and many of them are not income-based, is it eliminates that stigma. We have all manner of people shopping with tokens or paper script at our farmers market. And so it just normalizes that experience. That's just part of how lots of people shop at our farmers market. There's a photo of our token system. It is color-coded. So at our market, blue and green tokens are for any SNAP eligible items, any grocery items. Our SNAP tokens never expire. All of our tokens are labeled. I don't see any SNAP tokens in this picture, but you can see our produce prescription tokens there, or Double Up Food Bucks tokens. So all of our tokens other than SNAP do expire at the end of the calendar year, and so you'll see 2022 written on them. And then the color coding system. So blue and green are SNAP eligible colors, any grocery items. And so you see the produce prescription program or tokens are also blue, eligible for all groceries. This year, the tokens that are for produce only, which is our Double Up Bucks and our kids tokens, those were purple for produce. I changed those colors every year so that it just makes it easier to spot tokens that are expired without having to look at the year all the time. So those will be, I don't know what, some new color next year. And then, so on to our next program, we have sponsor tokens. Those are black because this year they were black. They're a third color because those are eligible for any items at our farmers market. And I use those tokens also for any gift certificates at our farmers market. So that includes like our artists, our food trucks, you know, those kinds of things can use the black, accept the black tokens. Here is a flyer. We're in the process of updating it for this coming year, but this is an image of our sponsor flyer. And so we have different sponsor amounts for our farmers market. This is a primary way that we fundraise for these incentive programs, is asking for community sponsorships. And then with that sponsorship, the organization receives, you know, various kinds of visibility, whether it's their image on our sponsor banner or Facebook post, those kinds of things. But they also receive tokens. And so, you know, if you sponsor our market for $1,000 a year, you'll receive $100 worth of those $2 tokens. And the organizations distribute those in various ways, but it's another way of encouraging connection with our market sponsors and a relationship, and also encouraging their employees to come and shop at our farmers market. A lot of the organizations, when they have their day in our community booth, you know, those volunteers that man the booth for that day will receive several of the sponsor tokens to spend some of those kinds of incentives. There's a picture of kind of organizing my tokens at the market to distribute them. SNAP at our farmers market is our biggest program. We distribute about $6,000 per year in SNAP benefits out to customers. And Anna Barr put together a great kind of how-to for accepting SNAP at farmers markets. It's at the extension website there. And it goes into detail of several different options that are available. At our market, we go through Novo Dio Group. We pay about $200, as I said, we've had our SNAP eligibility from USDA for a number of years now. That would be the first step. But as far as just what it looks like in accepting it, the nuts and bolts at the market, we have a subscription with Novo Dio Group for their Total Pay Go app. And it's just an app that I have downloaded on the market's, you know, electronic device. So we have just a little Android tablet. I'm in the process of switching to, we'll have just an inexpensive iPhone that the market will use for that. And the reason I'm switching to iPhone is the card swiper on Android with Novo Dio Group, it doesn't do Android, it does iPhone. So that's, you know, something that we didn't know initially that we are correcting now, that I would, you know, share with you all to make it easier for you. But anyway, it's just an app on the phone, and we can swipe the card, and Novo Dio Group, you know, deposits it within a couple of days into our account. Black Hills Farmers Market has one checking account for, you know, our market operations, you know, vendor fees and expenses and all of those kinds of things. And then we have another account that is our reimbursement account, and that account is designated for these programs. It's just a pass-through account. And so, you know, after a Saturday of processing SNAP benefits, a customer will come up to me and I'll swipe their card for usually $20 in SNAP benefits, because that's how much we double. That's the limit our market decided to set for double up bucks. And so I'll process that and give them $20 in tokens, and that allows them to, go shop throughout the market and spend it, just the same as money. And then that hits our bank account, Monday or Tuesday. And then, sometime during the week, I'll count up the tokens that I've received in the vendor envelopes and write reimbursement checks to the vendors out of that account. And so it's just kind of a revolving system of that money coming into the account and me sending it right back out to the vendors. I noticed in the gymnasium that Market Link has a booth there, and I know they also have support for farmers markets and farm stands to get up with SNAP. So check that booth out if you're interested. Cost to the farmers market, the Total Pay Go app costs us just under $200 per year. There are no transaction fees with Novo Dio Group, so it's just the $200 a year. Our market pays, because we're just in a city park, we pay $15 a month for just a small hotspot to have internet access for that. So then the only other cost is, the cost of the devices, the hotspot and the, inexpensive iPhone. And then the token system. The tokens I get from the Old Time Wooden Nickel Company. It's out of Texas, and it's about 17 cents per token. And then there's some, every time you switch color, there's a fee, or if you switch the layout, there's a fee. So we end up spending about $400 or a little bit more dollars in token purchase once a year. And that's enough for all of these programs, for 5 of them that are on the token system. So obviously, when we started out, we needed less tokens and used a smaller budget for that. And again, it's a huge benefit to the producers and to the market to be able to accept SNAP. It brings in a lot more customers and increases just a lot more opportunities for food access for people. And then our Double Up Food Bucks program, this program has had a huge impact on SNAP redemption at our farmers market. Like I said, before we had this program, it was just several $100s a year in SNAP. So this program for the sponsorship money that funds it, this year it was funded by Monument Health and Black Hills Energy at our market. That's bringing in a lot more revenue because of the federal funds that come in from SNAP along with it. And so it really doubles that value coming into the market. It is a program of Fair Food Network. Their website has just a wealth of resources, and their staff people too are really helpful for just the logistics, the nuts and bolts of, just record keeping. Documentation, forms, spreadsheets. They created this sign for me that I use in the market banner, and they're just a huge resource. And also they have a lot of information on data of the impact of the program, and that can be really helpful as you're reaching out to community sponsors of the program to have some of that kind of information. So at our market, customers receive a 1-for-1 match of SNAP benefits up to $20 each market day. And so customers will come, I'll process, $20 in their SNAP benefits, and then I hand them $40 in tokens to go shopping with at the market. And that free $20 is color-coded to support local produce at our market. So as you're thinking about, establishing these programs, and there's, you can really kind of vary, maybe you want to start off with paper vouchers or the business cards. You can do it in a variety of different ways. I just kind of put together, the things to kind of consider. How long a program is it? The single day events are, a really easy starting place. But the summer long or the year round programs can have a really big impact on your market and on your community. Like I said, there's several, I showed 3 choices for a currency for these programs, whether it's just, a paper script, that you can photocopy off and then keep those numbered so that you can keep track and not have any counterfeits. Business cards or those wooden tokens have been really nice because they're hard to counterfeit, and they're something that we use just, they keep recirculating through our market all summer long, and in the case of the SNAP tokens, year after year, we recirculate those tokens. One of the biggest factors that I would invite you to consider, and kind of a limiting factor, would be time. Who do you have in your market community or in your farm stand with the time to just do the day in and day out running of these things? And so, with that protein day, that was entirely vendor driven and volunteer driven, and was really, I just was so appreciative of their efforts in that. It made it really manageable for me, and I think that that's a good access point for markets that have limited staff helping them. Last year, my coworker and I accepted the payment for the protein bucks, but we're already planning for next year that, maybe the people in the community booth from Extension that day will navigate that. And then, get that to us at the end of the day, so that, just planning for the personnel of that rush. Board members are a great resource for helping with some of these events, and then the community supporters have been a great help with all of that. And can be a resource for you in creating these programs. And then, of course, the next big question is funding. Where does the money come for these incentive programs? For our sponsorship program, of course, that's, if you sponsor our market, that's, one piece that's coming right back to you out of that sponsorship. So it's kind of self-funded, if you will. We've been fortunate to receive grants from, community foundations, Live Well, Black Hills, some of those local funders in your community that are working on food security issues are a great resource for that. SNAP, of course, is funded from USDA. But then, yeah, think about sponsors that care about your incentive program. So, you know, for our protein day, it was people that are supporting local, you know, the meat industry in our community. For our produce prescription, you know, we kind of sought out, you know, healthcare providers in our area, institutions, and then we receive a lot of sponsorship from community small businesses. This year, our sponsorship campaign was more successful than in prior years, again, because our market vendors went out to the organizations that they have relationships with and invited them to sponsor our farmers market. And so there was far more invitations that went out than what I could have possibly managed. And those invitations were coming from people that they had relationships with and knew and trusted. And so it was much more likely to secure a sponsorship in the end. We rewarded our vendors for that effort. If you brought a sponsor into our farmers market, you received a day free of rent for the market. So, you know, trying to incentivize that a little bit. And then I'll kind of wrap this up and then open it up to questions if there are, you know, specific things that you're wondering about. One thing that I would love to see in South Dakota is a statewide effort to increase SNAP at farmers markets and incentive programs like Double Up and Produce Prescription. We had started through the South Dakota Local Foods Coalition a committee to work towards that end, to get state and federal funding and to try to find an organization with staff time to be kind of a central point of information and communication. So we were just getting started, and then some key staff people have left their positions. And so once that is replaced here, you know, hopefully soon this winter, while we all have a little bit more time, we will be kind of resurrecting this committee and working hard to create a statewide program so that there really is a central place of experience and resources and information. So if you're interested at all in working on that with us, please send me an email and I'll make sure that you get on that list once we get those meetings rescheduled again. There'll be virtual meetings and try to make it accessible to people across the state. All right, what questions can I answer as far as some of the specific nuts and bolts of our programs? For our farmers market? Well, so our farmers market is fortunate. We have 2 half-time staff people. And so, so yeah, I am at the information booth and facilitating those kinds of things. Now, I will say during our winter market, I am not there. There just isn't the same need as there is at a busy Saturday market. And so one of our vendor board members, you know, has our SNAP tablet and facilitates those transactions in my absence. And the same at our Wednesday market. Our weekday market is small enough that there isn't need for somebody full-time to do that. And so that's made it pretty manageable for somebody to not have to be doing that full time. But you do need somebody behind the scenes that is willing to, just count the tokens and write the checks. I would imagine in many cases at farmers markets that would be a board member or a volunteer. That's a good question. Like I said, Sure. Her question was, how did these programs come about at our market? Who or what was the driving force to creating those and then sustaining them over time? And I think it was the membership originally at our market, and led by the board to establish the SNAP benefits. That predates me. But when I started managing the market, I recognized that even though our market accepted SNAP, that it wasn't being utilized by the community very much. If you think of 12% of, the 80,000 people, 100,000 people in the surrounding area of Rapid City, that's a lot of customers that we weren't reaching yet. And so I really wanted to have the Double Up Food Bucks program so that the SNAP was accessible for people on a budget to shop at our farmers market, so that it fit into their budget and made sense. And that really has made a big impact. I would recommend any farmers market to start with, first get your SNAP acceptance and get, these programs take time, and they take more time initially. Like once you have your system figured out, it just kind of flows and it doesn't take that much time. But the initial setup takes time, and you need somebody behind that. But I think I think there are two, big barriers, like you said, in communities where you can see where there is a lot of potential, but it's not being utilized. It's, having a person. A lot of farmers markets don't have a manager, or it's a very part-time or volunteer. But I don't want that to dissuade you. There are ways of making this accessible, and so maybe that starts with having conversations about how do we pay for more time for somebody. Who are the people who care about food security in our community who might be willing to work on this and help support that. And then, through sponsorships and some of those kinds of things, maybe that could fund, somebody at a market to work on these kinds of things. Yeah. And my one additional thought that I have on that is to we have a lot of customers that are very appreciative of these programs and being able to get the foods that they would like to have, especially for their kids and so on. But it's also a huge benefit to our producers. We have we had, like I said, about $15,000 just checks I wrote to producers this summer. But that, 1,000 of that was $2 going out to kids. So that's, families then that are shopping at the market. That has a multiplier effect, I guess, is what I'm trying to say on the purchases, the income to our producers. There's a multiplier effect there. And so it really is in a market's interest to undertake it and to just, eat one bite at a time and tackle it in a way that's manageable. We didn't start with 6 incentive programs. It just has kind of evolved over the past 5 years. And we're excited and looking forward to it continuing to grow, both at our market and like I said, hopefully do some statewide work to make this easier for producers and markets across the state. That is a great question. The question is how to increase accessibility to our farmers market, particularly around transportation. Is that right, Jeremy? Yeah. The first year that we did, last year, when we started our produce prescription program, we started it with community health, and we did pair it with bus passes. And we had 0 redemption on those bus passes. Our farmers market, I've talked with the rapid ride system, and there are a lot of just physical and safety reasons why it is possible to take a bus and get close to our farmers market. That is an option for people. But it's not a simple option, and there really is not a way that we know of to simplify it better. So most people that with limited transportation have come with a family member or a support person of one kind or another, or walking. We have quite a few people that walk or ride their bikes to our farmers market. But yeah, as far as accessibility of transportation, it's still a little bit of a challenge. Yeah. Sure. The question was about our outreach, our advertising and marketing, and my coworker at the market, I wish she was here to answer that question because she's just a wonder at it. But we do have an in-kind sponsorship with one of the local television stations, News Center 1. And so during the summer months, they air a commercial for Black Hills Farmers Market and farmers markets across South Dakota generally are included in that commercial. And then another television station in town has been running public service announcements in their outlets for our farmers market this summer. And then, Facebook, a little bit with Instagram. Our market has a newsletter now that we started with COVID that we just manage on MailChimp. And so we have a large number of our customers that we can send out, updates to, events, those kinds of things. That's helpful for, keeping those repeat customers. the newspaper, and then, yeah, a lot of our outreach is through our partnering organizations, you know, our sponsors and you know, food security organizations and those kinds of things, kids organizations in the community. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for allowing me to present, and I'll be here, you know, this weekend. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me or send me an email.